Or just make a round circle, a limitless circle with no ends, just like how long you want your friends to be. Invite them in, because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Super One. When life goes right, go left, because what's right is what's left when everything goes wrong. Or just make a round circle, a limitless circle with no ends, just like how long you want your friends to be. Invite them in, because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Super One. When life goes right, go left, because what's right is what's left when everything goes wrong. Or just make a round circle, a limitless circle with no ends, just like how long you want your friends to be. Invite them in, because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Super One. When life goes right, go left, because what's right is what's left when everything goes wrong. Or just make a round circle, a limitless circle with no ends, just like how long you want your friends to be. Invite them in, because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Super One. When life goes right, go left, because what's right is what's left when everything goes wrong. Or just make a round circle, a limitless circle with no ends, just like how long you want your friends to be. Invite them in, because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Super One. When life goes right, go left, because what's right is what's left when everything goes wrong. Or just make a round circle, a limitless circle with no ends, just like how long you want your friends to be. invite them in. Because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Super One. When life goes right, go left. Because what's right is what's left. When everything goes wrong. Or just
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear us well. We are live here from our office in Norway, and we are here to answer a lot of questions we have received via email, and we will also open the Q&A here during this session. Together with me here in Norway, I have Alexander, the head of products in our company. And we also have hopefully Stians and John Clench with us on the call. So we will face them in a little bit later as we move forward. And we have received quite a few questions, and we are very grateful for all these questions that have been sent, and they kind of revolve around three main subjects. That's the game, when is the game launching, and some details inside the game. And then it's about the token and the trading of the token, and it's related to the bonuses, presentation material, learning videos, etc., etc. So I think we should start by addressing the game question first and foremost. And when will the game launch? That's a question we frequently get. 1 second here. You can see our video. Yeah, we hope so. One question we get is, when is the game launch? And we are still on track for that date we have said this year, 1st of December. But the game will launch in three different phases. First of all, we are evolving the current app into becoming the gaming app. And that is a process will take place much before December. Then we are releasing leaderboard games and single player games. That will then happen after the first phase. And then we evidently will open the larger tournaments. So it's an evolvement process. And I would like Alexander, who is heading the game development, to bring us a little bit more into detail on how we will do this.
Yes.
And in particular, what we are working with our designers and development team now is, Alexander, in detail about how we're going to attract potential players and how we're going to get them hooked on Super One.
Yes,
so I leave the microphone to you.
So, as you said, that we are sort of restructuring the app, so the app will be more gamified for targeting the players and first and foremost more people into the app, because that's what we are and that's what we are about. It's a game. So what we're currently doing is that we are evolving and creating the soft values of the game and on the platform. Here you will see certain things like achievements, experience, titles, badges, levels, leagues, all of these things that can already where you can already get rewards or be rewarded as a player or for recruiting a player or new affiliates into the system. This means you can earn this also by when creating collections, buying or selling NFTs. All of this kind of stuff will be available quite soon, or at least in the very near future. This is something that we're currently developing and is going to implement into the application.
So what we are doing, we are bringing the current affiliate app into becoming the final retail and consumer app.
Yes, precisely.
And by doing that, we are a little bit sorry to say, but we are degrading the affiliate to become the back room of the app.
Well, that's the foundation of the house, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, our affiliates are the foundation of the house, but to the house itself will be the game. I mean, that's where people will be attracted into.
So what you will see coming out of this is that the current application will change. It will expand significantly, and we will make it much easier to use. We have a complete redesign of that app into a much better UX user experience. So we are restructuring. We've been dealing with that app for more than a year, and we have done, like we said, probably 25 updates of it every second week for a year. We have done something. And when you keep adding stuff like this, you come to a certain level where you can say, okay, we can merge these functions, we can do these screens, these scrolls. So we do things, we simplify, and we will make it easier for everyone to use. And that's why is that particularly important as we move forward.
A lot easier to use, but also to provide a lot of more content into the app, not only for the affiliates but also for the players.
Okay, so what go a little bit more into detail over the next weeks and months and our plans there. So everyone is asking, when is the game launching? And we kind of say, we go backwards today, and we say it's not a single date actually, it's a rollout plan that happens in 3 phases. And you and the game team, can you explain a little bit about what the NFTs mean for this, and how we have other NFT plans related to, in particular, football, in particular the club engagement, and what we are working on with the top 20 clubs and these things that will soon come online?
Well, we're working on implementing a feature where when you enter the app, you will opt to choose your favorite team, and you will participate into a small trivia to get to be a verified fan. And if you're succeeding, you will be able to choose, you will get rewarded with different team-based layouts of the app. So let's say you're a supporter of Borussia Dortmund, you will get black and yellow backgrounds if you want. And things like this to really target the players and the fans out there for the game. But I can also say that NFTs are a part of the game, so we kind of launch bits and pieces of that. We launched a couple of collections already. We launched the football and the NBA, and we have 4 or 5 people that is working full time on the NFTs because they are playing a crucial part of the game. And we also got some questions related to the NFL. And what I can say is that we're releasing NFL next week.
Yeah, that's okay. We're going to show you a little teaser video for NFL today. But more into the actual player recruitment sort of. Today we have affiliate links, we have registration. How do we do that? And you mentioned a little bit about qualification for football fans to kind of verify their clubs or whatever. And how do we gamify that process? And what will the collectibles be? And how will we use the NFT schemes we have to kind of be make ourselves attractive and building up a massive audience?
Well, first and foremost, we have the achievements and the experience that you will be able to gain while recruiting players into the application.
Can you go a little bit deeper into that so people understand? I mean, you are a profound gamer, and you've been deeply into football games and sport games in general. And what elements, where are we kind of where are we borrowing these elements? Which games, and how does other games do this thing, or when they release a game, and why do we do what we do now? So people understand that this game process is not like you're switching on a switch and then all of a sudden you have 1 million players, but it's a process of creating engagement over time.
Well, of course, frequent changes are more attractive than a sudden change, basically, that we're building crowd over time. It's all about building a community, not only affiliates, but also for fans and players. And you mentioned other industries, and what we're doing in terms of the game is that we're taking the best practice from the current games in the business today, and we're also adding a couple of new elements which will sort of make trivia a bit more attractive than it is today. And people love to be or possess the most knowledge about things, and that's where we're targeting the fans. It's all about trying to achieve the fans or to collect the fans into our platform to show that we are the go-to place when it comes to trivia, when it comes to fans. We have a plan to launch different community types or for different sort of players or fans.
To be more specific, we are approaching the top 20 football clubs in the initial registration.
Yes.
And we are approaching their fans specifically to qualify for, we always use the example, at least me, Manchester United, you need to pass a couple of questions to verify that you actually know a little bit about Man U. And that will already start gamifying the whole registration process. And then we will enter into more single-player games, leaderboard games.
Yes, that's the first part, to bring up the single-player games with the leaderboards.
And all this leads up to the big thing, which is our tournament games, where we, to do that in a proper way, we need to have a big crowd.
Yes.
And as many of you know, we have operated this type of game before, and at that time we started a little bit differently, and we were not satisfied with it because we saw that we needed to have a big momentum, as we need to build a momentum in increments. You don't just turn on the switch and then everybody is there. It's something you build over time. Like the Super One crowd today is built over a year, or even more. And that's the way we are moving. We are actually walking a staircase, and we are getting to the top. And that staircase will probably never end, because it will always be things. And we will have the first 3 steps will be, like you said, the player registration or fan competition to be part of it, and then we have some rewards to actually get in there.
The rewards will be good as well.
Yeah, the achievement rewards thing.
We also have a big collection of NFTs, which will also be used as incentives.
And that's not the same NFTs that people are buying now. It's a different set of NFTs. So we are capitalizing on the play to earn, how should I say, wave in the market that we have seen from Axie Infinity. And then we are moving into engaging more profoundly with the single player game, where you play against yourself, sort of, or into leaderboards. And then we will then open the tournaments where you play against. And our tournament structure is pretty comprehensive, and it is kind of is innovative, and we have operated it before, and we know exactly what we're doing. So it's not that, but we need the market or the member player momentum to really get that working.
Precisely, go-to-market is everything,
and I can explain it in a way I always do. When you enter a discotheque, it's much more cool to be in a nightclub when there is packed with people all dancing and having fun, than to be there alone in the very first hour. So that's why we're doing this. So I think we're gonna again back to the timing, because that's something been asking about the timing now for when is the next NFT release. Like you said, NFL is ready, and it's coming. We will release it next week.
Yes.
It took a little bit of time now. We also have one of the heads for the content. He became a dad last Friday.
Right.
So he has his 2 weeks off actually, but from next week we will be kicking out those NFTs. We have the celebs done. We are always a couple, 2, 3, actually 4 collections ahead, and 2, 3 at least. So we have that ready, staging. So there will be a stream of new things coming from the NFTs. And what we want to also tell you today, when people ask when is the game launching, we can actually say we have already started launching it because the NFTs are
That's a crucial part of the game.
crucial part of the game as we move forward. So we started with significant game elements, and we sold more than 18,000 NFTs, which is a great accomplishment. And we learned a lot, and we always adjust as we move forward on this.
And also you can mention that more NFTs is down in the pipeline, and we're working on the auction feature.
Yeah.
We're working on the marketplace feature, and we're also rebuilding our store and the collection and the gallery page on the website.
And
as
that's all created, and
Yes.
it's now being pushed or into
In the final stages, yes.
in development. And what we will do, we will have two things. We will have the auction. The auction is where we from the company will send out NFTs, and I think we will start maybe with something like a Ronaldo legend, just to start on the top.
We'll see.
To see the excitement, and then it's developed like this. You submit your bid. The credits will be taken from your account. Once you are overbid, your bid will last for 30 minutes. Once you're overbid, the new bid will of course take it from the other member's account, and your credits will be released back. So it's a dynamic process. We will start with a few ongoing concurrent auctions, and then we will expand it. So we are building this on our own platform. Some people have put the question whether our NFT is going to be on Binance, and I can say no, we are not in for Binance. We are working towards our XRP ledger with all of our NFTs. We believe that the NFT scheme that come on the XRP ledger will probably be one of the best in the world, and we are there. And we create everything within our platform and the XRP platform at the moment. The reason for this is the transaction fees and the transaction speed. So there is no shying away that on the OpenSea, which is Ethereum based, it costs too much to operate with the number of NFTs we have. On Binance, they have launched their own proprietary storage, so you're not able to bring NFTs in and out of their ecosystem. So it's a wall garden, and we don't like that. So we are creating our own, which is not a wall garden. It's going to be transferable within the XRP ledger ecosystem.
Yes.
And so that's why we're doing that. And we have more news on this as we move on forward. And we also have some questions coming in on, that's the auction and the marketplace and when this will open.
Yeah.
We can say that this week we are completing the team bonus. So the team is all occupied on that. Once that is released, they will move on to complete the auction and the marketplace. And we also have some other stuff we need to catch up with that I'm going to cover during token and bonus.
I think the best part here is that we're constantly releasing new content all the time, so that there will be small changes, adjusting, we will be releasing new stuff. There will be constant, in a dynamical environment, there will always be new stuff.
So yes, the NFTs of NFL, American football, comes next week. We will release a little teaser video a little bit later. We now will take all the questions we got in advance first, and then we will look into the Q&A we have here on the screen. So finally, Spaces. Somebody's asking when we're going to release Spaces. We have a really exciting stuff going on for Spaces, and it's not going to be released yet because it will need a little bit more momentum. And the whole thing about Spaces is about advertisers, and we want advertisers committing in on these Spaces. So we have a fractional concept. You can imagine all the big billboards you have in a sports stadium, and you can imagine if you purchase a fraction of that. Let's say you own 10% or 1% of the billboard on Super Bowl. You own 1%, there are 100 parts. What do you think happened with your revenue if you have a part of it? It's a fractional ownership, and that's something we have actually invented, and we tested it. The technology is already tested in a different system we operate, and we we created some really cool algorithms for chopping things into pieces, doing it on IPFS, and all that technology we developed back in June, actually.
Yes.
June and
So.
July. Yeah. So it's already there and tested. So that's really cool. So we will get out with spaces, but we can't do everything in one time. Now we're building a community. We are 70,000 accounts in the system. We want to see 1 million accounts. We want to see 700,000 accounts. We really need to boost the whole community. We have to deliver, but also we have delivered a lot, quite a lot.
Yeah.
And when you look on the track record now over the, let's say, the past actually couple of years, we started off with an Ethereum smart contract. We moved on. We delivered everything into XRP. Yes, we had a lot of things to fix on the compensation plan, but we have something that's unique in the market today. It's paying real time. Is probably the best and fastest paying model out there. So, and we done all this on NFTs, and we have the team. We have a great team working. We have synchronized everything, and we're moving steadily forward. So I think we should, at the game, let's see now if there are any questions here from the Q&A on the game. 1 second. There is a Japanese question coming from Japan asking, basically, will the remaining football and basket cards be sold? Well, what we have done, we have sold approximately 50% of the, little bit less of the football cards, and we hold back a little bit on the basket card because we see that some of the basket was not that popular. So we wanted to hold it back because we want more people to come into this. We want the bigger community, and we know that American football, we have some really crazy good gold cards that's definitely going to be popular. And we get to the celebs, okay? Movie stars, celebs, pop artists is crazy. And I mean, who don't want to own Michael Jackson or whatever star
Freddie
you have
Mercury
around?
or, yes.
Even Kardashian. So we're gonna have all this coming. So we have so much. You know, our NFT schemes are into the hundreds of thousands of NFTs, and every collection has 30,000. And let's, for argument's sake, say we have 8 to 10 collections coming.
Yes.
So it is a lot, and we want to move that fast as possible. But we
don't want to flood the market too fast because there's a lot of collections coming in. And
I mean, this has probably never been done before, so we learn as we move, okay? And we adapt, and we go back to the drawing table and say, okay, how can we do this better? And we really want the auction to come into and creating an auction.
And also the marketplace. I think the marketplace will play a huge part.
Because then you will be able to trade your, and that's the whole point for you to make money. And we need, imagine when all the players come in, and the way we approach the top 20 football clubs now, I think we will get quite a few players only within the few top clubs. I think we will reach 1 million very fast when they start racing. They will be able to buy into these NFTs. They will be able to do all this. So we're bringing in much more people. That's why we also concentrate on the binary, on the bonus system, how this is all going to work for every Joe that don't know anything about compensation structures or even NFTs. He can buy into this. He can buy into different game assets. He can recruit people to get different game assets than the NFTs that we sold you guys. And this is going to be all working in sync inside the game. And that's the difference probably with Super One, is that we have the whole ecosystem synchronized in a sense that the NFTs working inside the game. We will now start with the exchange, and the auction will be from the company side, and then the marketplace you will be able to sell your NFTs. And we have to be a little bit careful also. We don't want to compete with you. The company comes into market with a lot of stuff, and you buy it. We want to create this. We need, I mean, in basic economy, you have a supply and demand side. and we want the demand side to be at least equally as big as the supply side, so we
Precisely.
don't have any price pressure downwards or anything. We want to procure that.
And the marketplace is more or less for our players and our members.
Yeah.
That's the audience for the marketplace, not for us.
Okay. 1 second here. I'm gonna have another question here. I think business members all over are running out of credits and software and basketball conference for the buy as they want. So well, so it's a little bit of a question why we don't release the origin or legend card. I mean, those are the most precious cards we have.
It's premature to release.
Yeah, it's too early.
Yeah.
And you can imagine the value of those getting into an auction when we have 1 million people ready for the game. So that's a basic question to that. And the fact that people are running out of credits, that's the whole purpose. We are selling these NFTs, and of course you purchased X amount of credits. Now, this is like getting free coupons for a drink in the nightclub,
Yeah.
and now you kind of had your complimentary drink. Now you have to buy more. That's the purpose. We want more commerce. That's how this game. You cannot enroll in 1 month and expect to have a free ride all the way. So this is where we're going now. We are moving into more and more commerce in the terms of NFTs, in the terms of game stuff, in the terms of the game itself. It's all moving towards monetization. And if you want more NFTs, you have to buy more credits. To date, we kept it inside the packages because we have priced them well, and you get both tokens and credits in one go. While going forward, we will definitely have separate credit packages. That's the whole. Credits are it's the currency inside the game.
It's a game asset.
Yeah, it's a game asset. So I think we leave the sort of game questions there. They are all revolving around the same.
Should we showcase the NFL video?
We can do it at the end because it's just stay here and we take the rest, and then we can end off with that NFL video behind the credit stage. So one is asking, Daniel is asking, how can we approach player know if they can't play when you go live? And that's exactly what we are have explained. We're gonna change the application you have today to become a player recruitment application. There will be tons of features, and we will specifically have it for the top 20 football clubs. That's the first kick we do, and then we will do it for the other sports too. So it will be rolled out in phases, and that's exactly what we're doing. We are changing. You can recruit players, and this is something we touched a little bit. You can recruit potential players before the game is there, because they will sign up to be one of the first to get in when the game is opening. That's pretty standard. You've been into all these FIFA games, and you created this whole journey. You can explain a little bit about how that's going.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that will target the players, and I think we touched the subject before in terms of both the achievements, experience, the levels, and in terms of recruiting the players into the application. I mean, you will be rewarded at the first second that you are entering the app, even in the pre-game phase. When you enter a game or in the application, you are submitting into trivia to be rewarded as a fan, as a player, and you are building up your own portfolio for 2 players, and you will be rewarded in game assets, NFTs. You will get experience, you will be rewarded achievements, you will earn new levels, new titles, and etc. So we're already starting to build up the ecosystem within the game before the game is even launched, because this is a soft value of our ecosystem, which is quite important for the gaming industry, basically.
I'm just checking if everyone is seeing this. Okay, I think we leave the sort of 1 second. We have. Yes, I think we leave the game there. So somebody's asking, oh, will it be delayed? Now we explained the process. We will actually be out there way before December with this. We will be out there already, not that far away. I think we're looking into October already when we start player registration.
Pieces will probably be out there as well.
Yes, and then we will evolve into it, and then we will become bigger and bigger. So there is no switch date when we can say that, but there is a date when we start focusing on player registration, when we have the top 20 football clubs ready and we can start recruiting those fans, and we have some benefits for those in there. I think we're going to leave the game there at the moment. There is nothing more to say, but the concern I see from the members are related to delays. We've been through a very exhaustive year with the COVID-19 situation all over the world, and we can never say guarantee, but we know already what we have ready and how much time things take. So we know already that this player registration, the single player, the leaderboard things are already staged and will be ready. So we're moving into that, and we want to move as fast as possible into that. But there are also limits to our technical capacity, sort of. We have now 22 or something on development, and they're working all day long, and we kind of need to focus. We are now putting behind us a lot of development on the affiliate platform and the NFTs, the auction marketplace, those things. Once those are passed, there is full focus on the game and the features again. We already created the backbone of the game, which is the what we internally call question management system. That we spent a lot of resources on creating, and that's actually, it's not the game itself, it's the game is consisting of different components. One of the main component is the content that you see we have in the NFTs. Then this content is being handled by a content management system, and that's already created, operational, and we already tested that with a game on the top. And then we have the game algorithms that we also created a lot of and testing different versions. And that out of those gaming algorithms, we will have the leaderboard games, we will have the multiplayer games. We can configure all this the way we want. One thing is for sure, we cannot open a game that is requiring, let's say, 100,000 players to kind of become a success before we have created the momentum and the crowd support, and that's why we do it. Okay, we leave the game there. I think we have answered at least most of the questions, and yeah, there is one more about whether the game will come on which platform, and 1 second. Everything is happening. Which platform, and then iOS is of course coming, the Apple platform is coming on Android, and it's coming on Huawei. And we had a meeting with Huawei a couple of months ago, and they're representing 20% of the smartphone industry globally. I saw the recent statistics yesterday actually came out that they've been falling back quite a lot last year because of the American boycott.
Yep.
Yeah. And basically we had a very positive meeting with them, and they have, how many people do they have in Europe? 100 million?
100 million in Europe, and I think it was 550 million globally.
Yeah, more than 500 million on a global scale they have in their store, and 130 million I believe it was in Europe, which is 500 million people in Europe. So you're looking at 20% of the people are having Huawei into the store, and we will have a great access into that store. So that's a good one from Huawei, and of course the other ones. And what we know from our own statistics is that 80% of our crowd has have the Android. So that's of course the main thing, and the rest is Apple. Apple is also undergoing some changes related to their requirements and their legal position and everything. And Apple is the most challenging app store out there, and that's why we don't have purchases in Apple. Anyway, so we had many updates. We don't have any friction with Apple like we had a year ago. We were being held back by Apple because of this crypto thing. Now we are not held back. We are releasing. We had a release actually 2 days ago. So let's move on and talk about the token, because that's the main topic. Now we covered the game, and I think we covered most of the things. The token, the main thing is when is the trading starting, when is the listing, and what happened, because we were supposed to start on September 1st, and then it's more about the staking, the airdrops, the pricing, and the future value. So let's get the first thing first. Yes, we said back in June, we already listed the token back in June. We actually listed it on Binance, the Pancake Swap. The token is there, the contract is there, everything is ready, but we haven't started releasing the tokens yet. Okay, we didn't manage to release it on September 1st. We could have, but we hold it back for business reasons. And these business reasons I explained in detail in our webinar update on the 4th of September. The reason for this is that we don't feel prepared with the whole platform. There are more elements to this that needs to come into place before we want to open for it. And at the same time, we are working with what we can call establishing a good market maker for getting this professionally handled in the market. So the reason for this is we want also here, we need a little bit more of momentum. So if we open today, and today we have a price of, if you're looking at what we are delivering now from today, the new updated price is about $45 a token if you're buying a $500 package. If you're buying $100,000, you get a little bit discount down to 35. So let's say 0.4, $40 a token. Now we have some of our early backers that got in early that have a much lower initial price. And we don't want to have a situation where these are kind of creating a downward pressure and in that sense damaging our how should I say, our voyage or our journey into the market. So we wanted to hold back a little bit. We get more momentum from the company side, also on the market making side. There are also some really exciting developments on the market making side that we don't speak too much about, but we hope to be much more transparent and open on that during the course of September. And what we said back in a couple of weeks ago when I had the update webinar, we will compensate this delayed opening. We will compensate it with a bonus, and we will also compensate it with faster vesting. So we will catch up and we will get back to the original vesting scheme. There is no point delaying that because that was a good one. So it will not hinder or change the total period. It's just for us to speed up the vesting time. So that's what's happening. We will get out with more information about the token trading shortly. Once we have something beautiful to communicate, we will communicate it. There is no point saying the same thing over and over and over again. We are a little bit in hold position on this, but we will get to you as soon as we have a final solution for it. And it needs to be a good solution. And to be, I mean, from the company side and from my personal side, we all have a lot of tokens. We all want this to be the best. The market is really getting well. We still need to have a great solution. We want a little bit more comprehensive solution than we initially thought, and that's what's being done. Second thing is the airdrops and the staking. Let's take staking first, because we have distributed some staking earlier. We promised you back in February, March that we're going to run the staking. We did the staking, and we are still need to do the staking for the remaining months, and that will be done once the team bonus is ready. We're going to catch up with this kind of thing we have deprioritized or put way too long for too long. Just to say sorry for that, but it hasn't been on our agenda because we know it's a work, but it's not been that business critical sort of, because we've been doing a lot of other heavy work, and we need developers to get back to this, and we will automate the staking totally, so it will be automated, and that's already, we have created or designed it both in UI and the app. We have designed it technically, specified it, but we haven't put it live yet. So that's some development job we need to deliver on. And the same is the airdrops we have from a couple of months, and we will do those. So as soon as we're ready with that, at least within the next couple of weeks, we're gonna complete all that and catch up the whole thing. So then we have questions about what is the price of the token and what is the future value of this token. So what we are, the way we are pricing the token now is that it's bundled in a package with credits. So, and you're buying this package ranging from $100 to $50,000, and the higher pack you buy, the more value you get for your money, the more tokens you get, the more credits you get. And the pro packages, they are more token centric sort of. And but if we take the main price point, so $500 or $1,000, and the average of that is $40. So that's for tokens only. If you take the whole amount and say that's the tokens, and then you get the credits for free. If you split it, it will be definitely half of it. So you can pick and choose. It's not so important. We will say from the company side, it's running around $40 at the moment, but we want it to be much higher. And if you look on market cap of other companies in this space, there is a great opportunity. We can look at Axie. We know there is a craze out there, but we will not be in a position, and we should never say about the future value. We can do some estimates based on market conditions, like if we get 1 million players, or when we get 1 million players, or 1.5 million players, 2 million players, and they spend the average of $60, we can calculate and evaluate and come up. And we said that around 1.5 million daily players will bring this token to $1, and then it will just increase from there. But that could be 1000% wrong, and it could be way too little or way too much. And it's not our position to kind of look into the future. It's to create a really great game with great monetization, and by that the market will value it. And this is why we are also holding back the active trading and the release of the token, is that we want to make sure that the market understand what we are doing. So therefore we are creating new videos and materials that are going to cover under the bonus section we're going to have after the finished token. But what I can say about the token, we are creating what we can call business material related to the token. It's videos, it's storyline, it's blogs, it's all these things that we need for the how should I say, new potential investors, buyers of this, to really want to buy. Okay, we know there are people out there that want to sell, and we know there are people that want to buy. There's always buyer and seller in the market. It's just a matter of price. And if the product is really shining and looking good, the price gets higher. So we're doing this for you, for me, for Alex, for the company, for everyone. We want the value to be as good as possible. Of course we want, but we don't want to say unreasonable figures. We don't want to go out there and say, hey, this is going to go $100. Who knew that Axie went from $50 to $85 or whatever in a matter of 30, 60 days.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. But we cannot predict that, and it's not our role. Our role is to create a really good product and get as many people in as possible. So let's leave that a little bit with the token. We don't have any additional token questions coming in during the stream, though. And then we get to the bonus model, and let me first take a couple of words for why we did the change we do, and I'm going to see if I have John here somewhere. I just need to get him in here, and we have Stian. 1 second, and hello. Good. We don't find John Plancher. Hello. So hi, Stian.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Hi, Andreas.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. And yourself?
We're all good. We're all good. Working and answering questions, and now we've been covering, as you know, the game and the token, and now we're gonna move into the bonus system, and then it's natural to bring you live here, and I want to do a little bit of background for why we have done these changes we've done lately. Is because, like I said in a couple of presentations, we saw the bonus model was split into two. It was the binary and it was the coding. That was the two main parts, and they were working independently. And now we're bringing them together to one strong solution. And I think maybe you, John, could talk a little bit about what you think about this solution from a sort of compensation plan perspective. John? Hello.
Well, it's the idea to do the coding, to do the binary. Hello, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you can hear us?
I hear you. Perfect.
So what I wanted you to fill in a little bit about, from a compensation plan perspective, about why we're doing this change and how it will affect the members.
Okay. Well, as you all probably know, I created the compensation plan exactly 2 years ago in September 2019. And my inspiration to do the coding actually back then was through a crowd from Japan, from another company with a different client, where I was also instrumental in the compensation plan. And so that brought me to the idea to do this. And the interesting thing is that we have a big Japanese crowd in Super One, and they have been keeping on asking that we kind of find a solution to kind of merge the binary and the coding. And also many other leaders have been asking for a stronger binary. And then actually the credit goes to Andreas, because he had this great idea of changing it the way we did it now. So I think it becomes easier to communicate, and the people who have built towards the coding before, they are not left behind. They get kind of grandfathering into the new system. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. So what we are some of the questions go here when it comes to this new thing. I will say that we are creating 2 new videos now this week. We are creating, the first one is a super clean video, the $10, and it's so easy. We are using now a modern I won't say modern, but video explanation technique that is so ding, 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 bang. It will be isolated $10 video. It will come in all the languages. We actually published the initial super link, but now it's even easier with the compensation plan. Then we are creating what we can label as the super pack video, which is more about the packages. It contains the same structural explanation, but it also contains more about the ranking system. It contains about the token and the potential and these things. So that comes. In addition to this, we're doing what we call a business video, and that's where the token come in, the token explanation of the business concept in general, our history, team, in a very short 3-minute kind of thing. So together, this material will both be in video. They will of course be in presentations in multiple languages. They will be reflected on our website and our whole communication. And needless to say, a new website has been overdue for a long time, and we actually created it, but we haven't published it because we have been changing and changing and changing things. And that's a little bit of a challenge, is that we have been through tremendous change over the past months or this year. We have been always changing, but now we come to a moment where, like I discussed with John the other day, we're not going to change anymore. The compensation plan is now well tuned. There might be some tunings, but the material changes are done. We're never going to change this again. And one of the main reasons we do this to simplify is to bring everyone into the binary. And remember, when Alex and his team start bringing in all the players, it comes hopefully in millions. We will have everything coming into the binary. It's going to be the biggest, most powerful binary ever. And that's why we want to simplify things, and we also needed to change a little bit of the names. Because if you go to everyday Joe out there, is a Liverpool fan, for argument's sake, he know and understand what team bonus is, but he don't know and understand what binary is. So that's why we do this small tunings. It's because Alex and his team came to me a while ago and say, Andreas, why can't we do this? And the creative guy came, why can't we change this? And then you start kind of, it's like you need to crack an egg to make an omelette, and you need to kind of tune and adapt to the market you're into. I see some of the questions coming in French. I know that you, John, speak French, but I don't do, but I interpret them, but still I cannot say I understand them fully. So that's what we mean. We need to speak the language of the audience. And that's why we are simplifying. We are simplifying the use of the app. We are simplifying the language and understanding. We are simplifying the whole presentation. You don't need to sit down for 30 minutes. You can watch a 2-minute video, 3-minute video, and you have everything. You understand everything. It's so simple. And that's why we are now, our videos will not teach you to put one on the public, one on the private, and every other. We will not do that, because we mean it's the wrong strategy. We will teach you to put 1, 2, 3 on the public team and then switch to your private team, because that's how you make most money in our model. And that's the sort of the framework we created, and that's what we want everyone to do. And if everyone do that, we're gonna grow this from here to there. It's gonna be millions of people, even on the member affiliate side. So I'm really grateful for what we achieved there, John, and your contribution also. And when I first mentioned it for you, I was a little dubious. This is it good or is it bad? Because it is always, when you do changes, it is always challenging. But what we can promise you, both John and me now, is that we're not going to change anymore when it comes to that. It will not change, because binary is the most powerful compensation plan out there, and the team has already developed the team bonus. It was finished yesterday, and it's being verified and reviewed today, tomorrow, and we hope to have it live on Friday. That's the expectation. It's already done. So It's a simplification and it's a strengthening of our system. So some people ask about the qualification to enter into this new thing, and we are bringing the qualification from your coding into the new team bonus or the binary. So that's being brought in. So if you have a qualification for coding, you will achieve the double bonus, period. We are looking into a little bit details on the founder. We will revert on that in our public channels, what we do. So that's what's happening. And there also come some questions related to the super gift $5 package. If you hold a $10, will it be $5? We will get back to those details because we haven't sorted out everything. Then some people are asking when we will start paying, and that's a kind of a question I really don't understand because we pay in real time, and it seems some of the questions has come to why haven't I been paid on my binary, which is not correct. We are paying in real time, so that there is nothing actually outstanding there. It's every single transaction has a finality to it. So what happened in 1 second is have a complete finality and deliverance, and then the next second you can have a different public and private link, but that's another thing. So people are coming back on the requirement of a $10 in personal volume over the 30 days to be binary eligible. And what I want to say, and some said that, oh, we recruited a lot last year or 3 months ago, and it's a little bit like this. If you are having a subscription for Netflix, and you started your subscription, let's say 6 months ago, you watch a movie, and then you didn't attend to it, but then you wanna still watch a movie, you have to pay the subscription. Okay, it's not a subscription for us, but we want to pay the active members. That, and the requirement to produce $10 in volume, either by purchasing a $10 package yourself or recruiting a new one with $10 as a minimum, we think that's so reasonable. There is no auto chip. You get the product and you get tokens, you get credits, you can even buy higher packs, of course, but it's a little requirement, and that little attention will bring you into the app. So if you're part of this growing community and you're going to earn from this community, we have to ask for something back. And this will bring much more people into active participation, and it will bring much more volume of sales, definitely. And if they remain inactive, okay, that's a choice. Many people might want to do that. Then they will not getting paid from other people's work. So this is a little bit of creating an active partition. So what we will do, we will use dynamic compression when we do the calculation. And that's, most of the plans out there do that, and I think we have been a little bit too kind too long. So we're doing. So that's kind of end the questions related to the bonus. All the questions that have, not all, but some questions that have been sent about user-specific thing, like my packages or IAP, we refer them to the help channel. Our team there is answering that 24/7 more or less, at least 18 hours a day, 18/7. We are available there, and we have no queue, and you're being resolved there quickly. So we don't want to go into details on that, and this was more a Q&A on the general subject matters that people like. Yeah, there was a question about the coding. Yes, we switched that off earlier, and it's being resurfaced as double team bonus within a couple of days. So that's how we did that. We needed to switch off a lot of things because the system is so, the coding was so connected into the system, and we also accidentally removed the direct bonus, but that's been reinstated today because it was connected in the old specification to the downline coding. So it's a complex system. And anyway, we sorted these things out. Double team bonus comes expectedly on Friday, and we'll just start paying double binary. So we're simplifying in the app. It will be the binary bonus, super binary will change name to team bonus, and you will receive notification when you get double. When you're eligible, and you will get double. But that's it. So I touched a little bit about the presentation material. New videos coming for Super Bling, for Super Packs, and also a corporate video coming a little bit later. But those two videos will cover exactly how the system is and what is the recommended path to enter. It's very simple. Presentations will accompany those videos exactly in the same style with different languages. Some people asked about white paper. With all the changes we have done, we are in process of updating the white paper, and we actually have an ASAP readiness on that because we need that for a couple of other things. There are, like I touched in, we're talking to market maker, we're talking to credit card companies and stuff. They all require this. So that's also something we have created a skeleton of the white paper, but we've done a lot of changes, so we need to change it. Trainings will be very simple and will accompany the video and the presentation. Help pages, the knowledge base is being updated together with a new website. So that's basically, and people ask us to communicate more frequently. Yes, but I think we're also communicating quite frequently over the past, we have become much better over the past month since we started with the NFTs. We will enhance the communication even on small things, but now we've been through some major changes, and we wanted to be thoroughly prepared, and we wanted to kind of back into this. I think what we will see now is that from the corporate side, we will have every Saturday, and probably we will have now and then Wednesdays at this time, where we will review, and Alex will come with more game stuff and keep that floating. We are opening the social channels much more now. We just need to prepare. We need more people into that, and it's a lot of work. So recordings we try to make available as soon as possible. Everyone operating Zoom knows it takes a little bit of time, and you need a little bit of editing, and then you publish it. So, but it shouldn't be needed too much recordings, as the videos we are creating are very intuitive, easy to understand and explain the whole system. So now it's so simple. You can do it on any napkin. Everyone you bring in get 10% in personal bonus. Once you have 3 in your public weight, you get double team bonus, 20%. So every personal you bring in after number 3 in your private team, you get 30%, guaranteed. That's always. So you bring in $10, you get the personal on 10% on the 1, 2, 3, and then you will get so that's $3. And once you bring in 3 new ones, you get $3 each. So then you earn $12, already $2 in surplus. And once you bring in another 3, another $9 comes into your pocket, and all of a sudden you earn more than $11 from doing that. And then you brought in 9 people, and then they start producing. That's where the real beef come on the table for them. That's where the big money stream comes, when they start recruiting again and again and again, and you will get up to $2, 20% on each of them. There might be some capping, so if you calculate at least $1, we always do a 50% estimation. That's quite a lot. It will start flooding in. Only in 6 generations, you are down to more than 1,000 people, nearly 1,100 people. That's $1,000 in 6 generations. And you can imagine what happened with how fast a $10 package can go viral. And in many populous countries, getting to 1,000 people is not a big deal. In 6th generation, and in my mind, that should happen in a week. First day, you enroll yourself and teach yourself and understand. Next 6 days, you bring in one every day, in example, and then they start populating, and you will really move on. So I think I don't see any more questions coming in here. Yeah, a little bit for 1 second. Yeah, they want us to have they want us to have yeah, that's another thing we can talk about a little bit. Communication. You know, there are a lot of WhatsApp groups out there, and I'm into a good portion of them. You are probably into a lot of them also. What we will do now, we have already created a Telegram group. We will open that Telegram group for everyone. We have the news group, we have a new one, Super One chat. We will start inviting people in there. We will get the link and everything ready. But as you all know, these groups get populous and they get very, very quickly full of different messages not related to Super One. And we want to try to keep this as clean as possible, so we need moderators there. And at this point in time, we don't have the capacity to moderate it. So moving forward now, we need to add a moderator, so we are able to keep it clean to a certain extent. There is nothing we cannot answer or don't accept, but there is a great diversity of people, and then people start posting things in languages some other don't understand, etc., etc. So we need to maintain a little bit of order, keep it a little bit our ducks in a row there, and so that's what we're doing. We will do that, and if it goes crazy, we have to stop it. But I'm into so many Telegram groups, and I see all the what do you call it, disturbance coming there, and but we want to keep it there, and we want to leave the WhatsApp, because WhatsApp has a limitation on 200 people, and it's kind of easier for us to work in Telegram. We can schedule messages, we can upload bigger files, we can do a lot of things. But and that we do in our one-way channel, sort of. Once we open the chat we need to maintain a little bit of order there. I think that concludes everything. Sorry. I don't find any unanswered questions. Nope. So one anonymous load these updates, so keep it up. We appreciate it. Yes, we will do that. We will keep it a little bit under control. Now we are more than an hour. We're gonna conclude. We can provide the recording for this one, and we can do this. We don't need to do it weekly. I think at least monthly or maybe even bi-weekly. We can do this, but we want to push more material towards you for the game, because that's the ultimate goal now. It's getting players excited, and once we start recruiting players, it will excite all the members already there, and that's the whole purpose of this, is to create a big community. And we also believe that the $10 Super Clean pack, we just open it, but we haven't really started pushing it. It will really catch fire, and it will be a good revenue for many people. And if you look on the ability here to maybe earn, let's say you entered that and you have 3 people in your public and 3 people in your private, and 6 levels down they become 1,000 people and make you maybe, let's say, somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000, and that could happen in a week. That's a good earning for many people, and it's really what we want as a company to be rewarding. And one of the how should I say, mission, vision, whatever we call it, is to make people happy, and that will create a positive aura for momentum for people. And that's why we have the staircase model. We bring it from the $10 into the $100 and further to 500, etc. So you're able to make more money moving your teams. But start at $10, get momentum there, and once you earn your hard-earned dollar move up, and that's now we have a whole range from $10 up to tens of thousands of dollars. So that's good. Anything to add? We covered a lot this hour, and appreciate again. Thank you for all your emails, and some of you have been very elaborative, very long emails, and we're going to get back to you more specifically when it comes to your own packages and your links and things like that. We will refer those to our help and support team. And now we covered most of the general things. We will be back on Saturday, and then we will have a much more, I would say, visual presentation. We will later today show you or we can end this. We can end it with the NFL video now. That's not the problem. And then basically we will on Saturday cover the new videos for Super Playing, and we will release new presentations, etc. That's only a few days away. So let's now get the American football moving, and we will say thank you for now, and we will show you the American football teaser video that we created a while ago, and we will of course have videos for every every group we send out. So let's get this moving, and thank you very much, and welcome to grow this from here to there.